Hey there! Welcome to... nom, 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 nom.
Welcome to the Cookie Monster.
Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits. Coming to you from the Recycle Garage here in sunny, frigid tundra of Santa Cruz, California.
It's so cold.
That's a relative term, Johnny.
My relatives are cold too.
Hey everyone, this is Liza, and I love heated grips. Love them.
This is new news?
Love them. Just saying. Running the board tonight, it's Stumpy John.
What's up, everybody? The KLR is the greatest motorcycle of all time. It has been confirmed once again.
Oh, there's going to be a debate tonight. Oh, good. Oh, okay, good. You finished chewing. And, of course, it's Miss Emma.
Hello, darling. This is Miss Emma, and I love chocolate pudding.
And this is
I
what
love
you sound
chocolate
like when
pudding,
you don't have cookies in your mouth.
Yes. But I'm going to put a peppermint in there right now because my breath is appalling. I've got the worst halitosis imaginable. I think it could curl fucking wallpaper.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, appreciate that.
And
Hello, dog.
fresh back from the sunny islands of Hawaii, it's Douglas.
Hi, how can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat?
But I did eat my meat.
You did all of it.
I ate all my meat.
Oh my gosh. All right. And looking dapper and yellow, it's Naked Jim.
Keeping it real, that fucking hurt.
Sounded like it hurt.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. But first, we got to remember everybody's favorite ginger. It's Bagel.
Bon appétit, mesdames et messieurs.
Merci beaucoup,
Fromage.
mon ami.
Parlez-vous.
De rien.
Orle vato.
So, well, we didn't get a lot done in the garage today. A lot of people.
I
showed
changed the
up.
oil.
Oh yeah, I gotta yell at you.
There was a bunch of oil changes happening.
Hold on.
What did I do?
What did you do with the oil pan when you were done?
Put it where I found it
Where did you find it?
on the lift.
No, it wasn't on the lift.
It was on the lift.
I just found it on the ground. And this, I have a beef. Emma, I need you to help me. People are doing oil changes and leaving the oil tubs out and around the property, which then, when they're outside, they get full of tree stuff, and then I have to clean out oil.
I wasn't the only one to change oil, by the way.
Yeah, but you're the one. I'm.
But you're the one sitting here right now.
Exactly. That's right.
I'm just saying.
I literally put it where I found it.
But no, we had
That's what she
a
said.
good time sitting around talking about stuff, and it just that's where the podcast comes from, is sitting around and just talking about things and what do you think about this, that, and the other. Funny thing is, on Friday I was on a ride with Stumpy John here, and I was like, dude, what are we going to talk about on Sunday? Like,
I
got nothing.
I wish you'd stop calling him that, Liza.
John?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just call him Stumpy.
And I was like, dude,
How is that better?
dude.
It's a lot better. It takes, it's
Too many syllables or what?
yeah, exactly.
But I was like, dude, I can't believe it. Like 500 episodes, and it's going to be $4.99 that I run out of something to talk about. You know, I'm like, what is it?
Go
What is
figure.
My promise to you, Liza,
Yeah.
as long as I'm in the show, you will never run out of things to talk about.
Well, wasn't the lead up to 400 like quite dramatic too? We had like
Yeah.
weeks of
I
crazy
had
guests.
the road to 400.
What have you done lately? Good, like all the famous left and right during that time period.
Well, as I said, John and I went on a great ride, and here's what I love and why he's loving his KLR. We rode our bikes to the Hollister Hills recreation area. Normally, we trailer our bikes there. But having bikes that you can ride there, then ride around on the trails, and then ride home is a whole nother thing that's kind of really badass and cool.
What did you ride again?
The 690
Yeah,
Enduro.
that's an awesome bike, huh?
And he was on the KLR.
Yeah, it's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's like it's not quite the adventure bike thing, but just to be able to ride to the dirt bike park. And there's enough challenges on a medium-sized bike to make it, fun. Like from high road, like coming down some of those switchback hills that are a little bit steep for heavy bikes. So you're kind of sliding and navigating the ruts and like hoping you don't go over the edge, and just enough challenge.
Was it dry? Dry and sandy and hard?
Yes.
Yes.
It was hard packed with the soft sand, but then on some of the backsides of the hill, mud.
Yeah, of course. Did you monkey around in the playground stuff?
I didn't go to the playground, but we were basically alone. There was nobody there the day after Thanksgiving.
Really? I'm surprised.
Wow. Yeah, I was surprised
I know.
too.
Nobody there.
Parking lot was
There was
empty.
like 5 cars in the day lot.
Except a really slow side-by-side. It drove me nuts.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there was a few quads out there.
Yeah.
Oh, boo.
And I did encounter on going up, Jake's Road up to the other half to go around the back, a dude coming down the wrong way.
Ooh. On a quad?
Oh,
No,
he's
on a
bike.
motorcycle.
Okay. Yeah, that's
But I'm
bad.
like, are you okay? Is everything good? Like, he said, yeah.
So what do you mean?
Just go. But yeah, a little debate did come out of it. Oh, did you have something, Jim?
That's the time that shit happens when no one's around. That's
I
like
know.
when you run into somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like there's the Murphy's Law about that.
There were a couple quads and a couple little kids with the parent riding behind them, blocking you from passing,
Right.
so you don't get near the little kid.
That's lame.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
They're being the protective, guarding you, so you're just trapped behind them.
Yeah, most people are like, I've seen plenty of parents in there. They're just like shepherd their kid over and let
You're
everybody
supposed to,
pass.
but
Yeah.
we
That's
had.
good. Oh, well.
So there was one time where like, let's just turn around.
You guys should
and
get
go
off the little kid trails, maybe.
Nice. Zing.
But a debate came out of it.
Which one?
I'm making a claim. I'm making a claim. Yes, I am making a claim.
We're not
Look,
going to go here, are we?
Yes, it has kind of been known for many years that the KLR 650 and the DR 650 were excellent Swiss Army knives for bikes. Everyone's agreed to that. You can debate which one is better. We're not debating that. Now you got the Tenere 700 that I myself announced is the betterer Swiss Army knife than those two.
The betterer?
The betterer
More
Swiss
better.
Army knife.
More better in,
Mo
in,
better.
in modern English.
I would agree
Yes.
with that.
No, I think I'll delve into American speak and say it's mo better.
It's no better. But I am declaring that nobody's talking about a bike that's been around a long time, which is the betterest.
But it's not.
The 690 Enduro.
It's not.
I think my 690 Enduro is the betterest Swiss Army knife.
This is babbling from the sick bed, Liza. It really is. I mean, it's not like you to come in our company and just gibber like a lunatic. No,
She's got the orange fever.
no, she has. She's got
She's got
KTM
the
socks.
orange fever.
I personally walked into Chaparral Motorsports with Liza, and she was drawn to KTM socks like flies to a piece of poop. She just homed in on them, and there was no reasoning with her. She's got the orange fever. And as good as your KTM 690
It's a great bike.
it is a great bike, and nobody's saying it's a bad bike.
Right.
But it is not a Swiss Army knife.
No.
I think it is.
Well, I know you do.
I think it is. And
Well, why not? Why not?
Well, I mean, there's a variety of reasons. I don't think it's, in my opinion, it's certainly not as good long distance as either the KLR or the DR650.
Yes.
I think if were you to ride it like KLR 650 riders ride their bikes, and to a certain extent DR650 riders ride their bikes, I think reliability might be a bit of an issue.
So,
And
John,
you've got to factor that in. You have to factor in running costs.
Swiss Army knife. So, John,
Yes.
would you agree that my bike handles the trails better than the KLR 650?
100% agree.
Okay. And would you agree that my bike had more power and speed on freeway and highway?
Yes.
And maybe a little more.
Did you
just
perform like a
nimble and control.
semi-scientific experiment?
Yeah, I'm
here
explaining it.
With
So what I'm
variables as
what I'm
possible?
saying is, on a Swiss Army knife, you have many tools, and what you guys are saying is, yeah, but the little scissors don't work as good.
No.
It's not as good long distance on a long
No.
300-mile ride.
I disagree.
Than the KLR. I'm
Well,
like,
you know,
well, that's one little thing.
Wait, no,
I'm
it's
saying
not one little
you
thing.
could.
It's not the little thing. It's half the thing.
You could travel, but I think it's better on the street and the dirt than all of those bikes.
It's not better in the street.
But you have to factor in maintenance costs as well.
Do you?
You got to, because that's part and parcel of owning a motorcycle, is how much it's going to cost you to keep it in good running condition. You got to factor that in.
It doesn't happen often, but I said Liza has the orange fever, and I've got it too.
Oh, no.
So I was out on the trails and ran into this dude in a random area, and we started chatting. He pulled up, and we just started talking. And he's a KTM guy, and he loves his 690 Enduro. He's got the 1190. He's got a 690, and he was on a brand new 450 dual sport, all KTM. And we just started chatting, and he told me how much he loved his 690 because he lived in some town like an hour away. He could ride it super comfortable, get out to the trails where we're at. And I've ridden your dirt, that bike in the dirt. It's great in the dirt, that real low-end grunty power. He said anecdotally he had around, around 20,000 trouble-free miles out of it. But then again, that's maybe where the difference starts happening between it and the KLR and the DRs is where after 20,000 miles, who knows? But he loved it. And he asked about my 450. He goes, "Oh, I'm thinking about getting that." He goes, "Just for the more distance riding is a better dual sport." And I'm like, "No, it's not comfortable. It's not fun on the freeway." But I thought back to your 690, and it's great on the freeway. So I think it's the uppity version of your DR.
But I will say it's better on the freeway since I put on the steering damper. I'm sure. That did fix that. I felt really comfortable.
It's not just the steering damper, Liza.
And an aftermarket seat.
There you go.
Well, we have aftermarket seats on all of our bikes.
Well, has your 450 got one yet?
No, and it won't.
Right. So were you to put...
Yeah, but does your Africa Twin have an aftermarket seat?
Well, here's an interesting thing. My 250 Rally Raid, that thing would do 75 on the freeway.
Yes.
No problem. 250.
Yes.
A little windscreen, 250, 75, no problem.
Because it's a different bike.
The 450, I get up to 55. I'm like, this is comfortable. And I don't really go much faster than that.
So, but here's the deal. A few weeks ago, we went up to Mendocino. What, was it 4 hours?
Yeah.
If I'm going to do a 4-hour trip and then ride in the dirt, the 690 would have beat me to death by the time I got up there. There's no wind protection.
Right.
How would you know you've never ridden
No, but that's a good point. Wind protection's
You've never
the thing.
ridden it.
Would you take your 450 that far?
You've
No.
never ridden it.
But the wind protection would suck. That if you're going 3-4 hours, that would suck.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, for short distances, if you're going to zip over to
Yes.
Hollister, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do
agree
miles.
on a multi-hours long distance ride, a KLR would be better.
Which is why it's a
but
better Swiss
hold
Army
on,
knife.
Tenere 700 doesn't have the wind protection that a KLR does. Oh, didn't think that one, did you?
It has something, doesn't it?
No, not much more than what I have. Anyway, this is an open debate, and I'd love to hear from people to see what they think. I'm just saying, yes, Emma, to give up affordability and reliability to get performance.
I'm telling you,
you're getting performance out of it.
the orange fever is contagious, but it's the grass is always greener. Me and this guy are in the desert staring at each other's bikes, and he's pointing and goes, "I want what you have."
Right.
And I'm looking at
Yeah.
his KTM 450 that's probably like 80 pounds lighter than mine and more. And I'm like, "I want what you have."
Down at my shop, I have plenty of customers who have KTMs who think they're just the greatest thing in the world. And conversely, I have plenty of customers with KTMs who just hate them.
Because of the maintenance or the reliability?
Cost to repair.
Cost to repair and maintenance.
Because to me,
But any performance bike has that.
Thing.
Any a Ducati, a BMW, they all have that same.
There's a commonality amongst the high performance segment,
Yeah.
and it is running costs are extremely high. Oil filters are expensive. Fuel filters are expensive. Woe betide you if you do not change a fuel filter in a KTM regularly. I mean, the fueling systems on them are junk from the factory, so you got to keep it clean.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I think the 690 Adventure or 690 Enduro needs to be on that list of bikes that are in the running for the best Swiss Army knife.
I'll throw out the Honda 650L.
So I think you also got to factor in price.
Yeah.
You got to factor in entry price, too.
There it goes.
650L, throw a windscreen.
Yeah, like why isn't the 650L in a contender in this?
It is. It's a
because
bit porky.
It doesn't
It's
perform
porky.
as well as the DR or the KLR for all.
Oh,
the
no.
things.
In what conditions?
Well, and
slab
also-
it maybe.
The Honda's better on dirt.
If you're in Mexico,
Right.
if you're in
Debatable.
Mexico, you're taking the Honda 650.
But if
Right.
if you're talking about a freeway capable bike, it's not really good at all on the freeway.
I mean,
I'm just
anything.
saying.
So the scissors a little dull.
Yeah, I know. It depends. It depends on
Any
what's
Italian
more
bikes?
important to you.
No.
Which of the tools are more important to you on the Swiss
just
Army
coming
knife?
from a weight standpoint,
But-
I mean, the 650L is going to be perform better in the dirt.
Yes, but
Yeah, by far.
for
It
some
will.
reason it
Just
doesn't
depends on
have
how
the
much
same-
like
Suspension,
John nailed it.
suspension's
How,
better, and it's,
Yeah.
it's lighter.
how much asphalt you're going to do? That's what
That's
will dictate it.
And how much money you got to get into it?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I mean, how much is a 690 new? It's got to be
don't know.
what, 14.
More than we can afford.
Exactly.
$1 million.
You can get out the door at a KTM under 10 or a KLR.
but hey, it did great. We had a great ride.
was
And
awesome.
again, I love to have a bike to ride to the dirt and then ride the dirt.
Liza's
that was
like,
fun.
"Hey, I need you to crash so we have something to talk about."
Well, and we're on comms, and I can hear him back there, like, and I don't know what's happening, you know. And I keep waiting for that of going down, much like this sound. Let's see, what could this be? The sound of Jim riding his four-wheeler.
Riding a wheelie.
That could easily be
You're
mistaken.
loving
That
this.
could be mistaken
You
for
are
something
just
else.
Loving this. All right, you're making me sweat. You're making me sweat.
That is the sound of a crash. Jim, what happened?
Yeah, I crashed. Fucking hurt.
I think the consensus was you looked down.
I
didn't
looked
you?
down. That's
Yeah.
exact. Don't ever look down. That's the name of the
So,
game.
where were you riding?
So I was riding down a place I'd been before, Southern California. We were down there. We've done it a couple of years. A place called Borrego Springs. It's a funky little desert town about an hour southish of Palm Springs, maybe an hour and a half east of San Diego. And people might know it because of the Salton Sea. If you've ever heard of the Salton Sea, which was a beautiful lake being developed in the 50s, going to be resorts. You could water ski on it.
Oh, right.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was a naturally formed lake by the Colorado River. Like it would, over eons, back and forth, would be a lake and then not then be a lake.
This is where Cody did that video out there at the Salton Sea, right?
Jumping off the old houses
That was
and the
cool.
dilapidated stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the quick history, I guess. So it was a beautiful lake like in the 50s, and they began developing it as a resort. Well, they also found there's a lot of farming down there, a lot of citrus, a lot of grapefruits. We got some grapefruits. Anyway, that kind of stuff. And the more they farmed it, and specifically they moved the farming to the south, anyway, all the ag runoff went into the lake and utterly fucking polluted it.
And as far as I am aware, all the runoff from Palm Springs, and Palm Springs uses a lot of water.
Yeah.
With all the golf courses and
A
everything.
shitload of water. It's
All
amazing.
goes
Lawns.
in.
Oh, it's fucking crazy what they do down there.
All
Yeah.
goes in
Yeah.
to the Salton
Yeah.
Sea. And they have this massive die-off where like 100,000 fish
It's just dead.
die.
It's just dead. The whole, yeah.
Wash up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the stink is incredible.
So yeah, I highly recommend to visit. There's documentaries and shit. An interesting one about government secrets that crashed into it and are still down there. But the writing wise, it's the Anza Borrego State Park. So Anza Borrego and an OHV place called Ocotillo Wells. So this is open desert. It's partial BLM land, state land. Very sandy. So most things are a wash. And a wash basically is at the bottom of a gully. It's where all the sand ends up. But I've been there before. It's a hoot. And a lot of it's like Mars. A lot of it's out of like Western movie looking things, these canyons. Very beautiful. It's a big ATV area. So there's a lot of people, four-wheeling and in trucks, all that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, you can ride all day and not see anybody. And anyway, what happened, riding in the sand it's not bad. I've gotten better at it. But when you get in Southern California, it's unrelenting.
Yes.
The sand just never stops kind of coming at you. You'll get breaks every now and then, but you'll also have to be like, okay, I'm going to go for like 3 or 5 miles here in deep sand in third gear.
It's so rough.
Yeah.
And that soundtrack, there's a video attached to it. And I watched the video, which is the GoPro on your helmet.
Yeah.
And the one thing, as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh God, he's so tired.
Oh, yeah. Oh, getting up.
You could tell.
you could tell he was tired before.
You were beat
Yeah.
just by how you were reacting around the bike. So
Yeah.
I know you'd probably been riding for a long time that day, and you'd probably been in that sand for a long time.
Here's the funny thing. I was only about a third of the way in. So that's the funny part. But some parts of it are just so grueling. when you get to an easier part, you're like, I got to get rid of my arm pump. I got to just slow my breathing down.
Right,
So, and that's
you
what
almost get
happened.
it like a second wind.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I'm gonna chill for a minute because I just been like, that was really intense for a while, and then that's when I eat shit. So I'm just like, okay, fucking no, I'm gonna relax now, and my weight got a little forward on the bike, and it was it's hard to see because the light can get really flat in the middle of the day. So it was between hard pack and sand and deep sand and like cement, kind of all that stuff. Yeah, and the front tire hit something really soft, and I made the mistake, and I just looked straight down. And I realized I just looked down, and then next time I just kind of went ass over the handlebars.
That's what target fixation will do.
It's funny, and I was challenged by that. That was like my challenge for the rest of the time, was trying to keep my eyes up in the sand, because it's magical. Like we know, if you keep your eyes up for the most part, and you're conscious of your weight and stay on the gas, you don't have to be going fast, but stay on the gas, you'll end up going wherever you're looking at.
Right.
But it's so hard not to look down because there's sandy ruts and there's ruts,
a baby
and
head
rocks.
sticking out.
But if all you have to do is pick your head up and you'll be fine. But it's a challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just being lazy for a second, and gravity, Mother Nature don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know.
So it was, but I got like a mule punch in the thigh from a handlebar and tweaked a finger a little bit. So no worse for wear.
You sent me
much worse for wear.
You sent me that video. My first response was, and that's why I don't ride sand.
That's what you texted me back. I'm like, you'll like this.
And then the next thing I texted was, and Doug, you know this.
Yeah.
And how's the bike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the next important question. Yeah.
Dude, it's very important. Well, we
Not
talked.
how are you? How's the bike?
We talked about this. You self-assess pretty fucking quick when you launch off the bike, man.
Yeah, right.
Especially out there, and you're like, everything's moving, and you couldn't tell, but my leg was trapped under the bike for a little bit. So that's part of why I was rolling over, as I had to pull it out. And the first thing I thought about was Africa Twin. I'm like, this is Africa Twin. Where would I be right now?
You had to pick that thing up.
It's scary.
For a long, long time, and I hope they still come back. Max and Will, the roving Canadians, would stop at Emma's house between. I think I'd come down from BC, British Columbia, and end up in Baja, Mexico.
Yeah.
And Max told me the last time he came to, oh God, he looked terrible. He had a shower and a shave, and he looked a lot better afterwards. But I didn't even recognize him when he showed up. And I thought, man, this must have been a rough trip. And he was on a Tiger 900, but an old Tiger 900, John, not the one you ride.
Right.
And he'd crashed it on a trail that was used by trophy trucks. And the bike just lay on its side for 3 days because he didn't have the strength to pick it up. And he was absolutely terrified. He'd be halfway through trying to pick it up, and some giant trophy truck had come past and mow him down. So for like 3 days, the thing was just sitting on its side until a helpful guy came along, and then they
was
both
he camping there?
Up.
Did he camp?
Yeah, he camped around the bike. Camped
Prepared
off
overnight.
the trail.
Prepared overnight.
So, and for you, Liza,
Me?
with your knees,
Oh, yeah.
you'd be in big trouble.
No, I looked into, there are things, either you make sure you go with people who can lift your bike, which I've always done.
Or lift
but
you.
There's also, there are types of bike jacks that you can carry with you that are a jack system to lift it up.
Or
Well,
have a friend call Jack.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that could be
Have
his
him come
only
along.
job.
No, I've looked into those things. There are things.
The only place you're proper fucked in general, this is why riding with I'm trying to ride with people more and more, is sand.
Yeah.
Because the problem is your feet won't dig into anything. So you can't get leverage with your feet or
Yeah,
your
I
knees
noticed
to
you were kind
drive.
of scrambling around trying to get the bike up and the stand down.
And
And it was an ordeal for you, wasn't it?
I finally get the fucking thing up, and I lean over and pop the stand down, but it's too close to a rock, so I won't lean over, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I think riding with someone's a good idea.
I just invented a thing.
What is that
Did
thing?
you?
I just had an idea for a thing. So, what if there was an arm that is hinged onto the bike that's retracting? Like, think of like an extending like cane or something, right? So that it's in little 1 foot sections, so that it can be attached to your bike. So when it's on the ground, you have that out, and then when you start to lift the bike, it starts coming under like a leg.
Like a cam.
Yeah, like a cam. And then as you lift it, it could be spring loaded to ratchet out and not ratchet back.
Oh,
so every time you push it up a little, it should, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if it's hinged, then it should swing underneath the bike until, like a really tall kickstand, basically.
I got you.
Oh, that could be a thing, right?
Get on it.
Yeah.
I know. You could have it on your like if you have a rack, it could be a hinge to the rack, and then you just flip it over.
Yeah, I mostly go with Hope. That's pretty much my go-to.
Yeah, it could be a thing.
Yes.
Here, but I will little top tip maybe.
Yeah.
If anyone ever wants to go down to the desert anywhere, it's all great. What we did this time, we rented a house in Borrego Springs. Very reasonable. It was a house in this little desert town, 2 acres fenced in so the dog could run around, no problem. Pool and a hot tub, so you could cook your own food, see the stars at night, hot tub whenever. But it's a great way to start and end the day.
You love the
I
hot
can only
tubs.
imagine.
Fuck yeah, and it's reasonable down there. So anyway, just instead of like my friend says, it's not vacation when you sleep on the ground.
The high desert in California is just lovely.
Yeah.
It really is, and there is nothing better than sitting out in the evening and watching the sun go down. There's just gorgeous colors down there, the purples and oranges as the sun goes down. Crack a beer, sit around.
Yeah, we actually did that. We had little travelers and hopped in the truck and just did a little 4-wheeling through the desert.
Yeah.
Another Borrego Springs is where they have those metal sculptures. The dragon's the famous one, but there's a whole bunch of them out in the desert. So, yeah, we just had a little sipper and just tootled around a little safari.
A lot of the artists do these sculptures specifically so you look at them in the sunset sky. And that's when they come into their own. It's just an amazing place.
I think the best advice you've given, the tip for going off and riding trips like this, I don't know if you've heard this one, Douglas. Everyone thinks to take water or to take extra gas.
Yes, and yes.
But the one thing that he's come up with, pack sneakers. Pack sneakers in case you have to push your bike.
I do that not push it, just walk,
Yeah,
if you're outside.
in case you have to.
Yeah,
Because I
motocross
do
boots
that.
are
In
rough.
case you have to walk.
If you got to hump it
That's
7 or 8
actually really good
miles.
advice. So
Yeah,
James-
and even just after a long day of riding, wearing your riding boots, it feels really nice to change into some sneakers at the end of the day.
Yeah, but take them with you on your adventure in case you have to walk out.
Yeah, and a toe
Sure.
strap. There's another top tip. Bring a toe strap. Prepare to self-rescue. At least,
Yeah,
at
I know.
least help other people help you.
I know.
Bring a toe strap.
So I wanted to get today's topic, which is many different topics. In fact, I had an idea. This segment is called Motorcycle News. Do we care?
We only care about ourselves, darling.
And here's why. There's been so many things coming out from like EICMA and different news stories about new bikes and new stuff. And it's like, do we really care? I don't know. So I've assigned everyone here with their own story that they're going to share and say, do we care or not?
I need to get my phone from the other room because that's where my story is.
Yeah, go get your phone.
Well,
I'm gonna
actually,
start
no.
mine.
You could just hand me your phone when you're
Sure.
done, and
Sure.
I can read my story off that.
So I'll start.
Yes.
So mine is about a new bike that's being unveiled. And the title is, Here's a Chinese Cruiser That Can Bury the Harley-Davidson 48. And this kind of surprised me. It's a good-looking cruiser. I was surprised
Well, it looks
to
like
see
a Harley.
who's making this, and it is SWM. And we've talked about SWM before. We know them for making these husky dirt bikes and dual
Right.
sports that they basically bought the design and the tooling and just are making old huskies under the name SWM, but they're Chinese bikes. Well, now they have made it's a complete knockoff of a Harley-Davidson 48.
Is it the Stormbreaker?
It's the windbreaker.
No,
The
it's called the
V1200?
custom custom V1200. And it's a good looking bike.
Well, it looks just like you showed me the picture of the bike,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "There's a Sportster."
But it's an SWM Chinese bike.
Okay.
So here's a couple things that I find are interesting. It's got a 1200cc V-twin engine. I mean, it really looks like a Harley. But they've upped the output 14 more horsepower than Harley does. So it's now 80 horsepower out of this 1200.
Okay.
And they've done some things like Harley has analog instruments. This is digital. It's just it
Okay.
changes out LED lights.
I'm
and
trying to
stuff
see
like
what the who made the suspension.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I'll see if I can. Yeah.
I have a confession to make about
But-
suspension, which I will make later. I've been terrible.
It's a good-looking bike, and here's why I think we should care and why we don't care. It's twofold. So here's why we don't care here in the U.S. We're never going to see it here in the U.S. because it's too close of a copy to the Harley Davidson 48 that they would get sued for it. So we're never going to see it here. But here's why I think everyone else should care. I think having traveled around the world, different parts of the world, people are fascinated with Harley Davidsons. They're considered an exotic motorcycle in other parts of the country with quite a following. So I think in like the UK, where it's going to be released in 2023, I think this will be very popular. Because Harleys are very expensive in other parts of the world.
Right.
Extremely expensive.
Well, they're expensive here, let's be honest with you.
I know, but they're even more expensive over there.
But it's not a Harley. I wanted.
But I don't think that matters as much.
We said the same thing about the dirt bikes too, but people still aren't flocking to them. But no, I have a friend on Instagram who's in the UK and just got a first Harley and could not be more stoked. And he doesn't want the Italian version.
Yeah, I don't think in like UK and other countries is as important to have that Harley Davidson name as it does to have a big twin cruiser.
I would love to hear some feedback from them on that.
Yeah, I would too. Is that true, Emma?
I've been here for 25, 30 years. I don't know. We've got plenty of listeners in the UK.
Yeah, get back to us.
So
you don't speak for all things
I think
UK?
it's interesting. I think it looks good. It doesn't look like a Japanese cruiser. It looks like an American.
I will
big
go
twin.
further. It looks exactly like a Harley. It is a blatant copy.
If I got a hair up my ass to get a Harley, I'm getting a Harley. I'm not getting a knockoff.
So this guy might follow us on the podcast.
Hold on, not if it's half the price. A Chinese bike versus an American bike over in the UK.
Then I just wouldn't.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, so from the UK, out on the loud American all day, heart American flag, flexing arm. Popped up to see my favorite, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's the American thing.
It kind of gets to you. So when I bought that Superglide, I bought it as a flipper. And
is that different than a tosser?
yes, exactly. And I thought, no, I'm just going to flip this thing because I'm not that into Harleys.
Is that different from a fluffer?
Very.
But
Everybody likes a fluffer.
I'm riding along on the thing, and I'm in Hollister. When you're riding on this country road and you've got the telegraph poles by the side of the road and things thumping underneath you. I've got some stupid Bob Seger song stuck in my head. And I'm like, this is great.
In the birthplace of the American biker.
It kind of does.
Yeah, but do you get the same feeling on an Indian?
Probably, but it wasn't an Indian.
That's still an American bike.
Yeah.
Do you get the same feeling on a V-Star?
I had the same feeling on a Roadstar. I did. Because I wasn't married to the Harley image. I loved my Roadstar.
Had you already owned a Harley? Had you already owned a Harley at that point?
No, it was a big twin that I loved, and those were great bikes.
No, Roadstars are great.
They are great bikes.
bikes.
They're just not Harley Davidson.
Right, because I wasn't buying into the image of
Pinko
Harley
Commie
Davidson. I was
bedwetter.
buying into big twin motorcycle. So I think it will be successful.
Well, I'm not so sure, and it certainly boils down, and you've heard me say this many, many, many times before, reverence for the domestic manufacturer. And there is none.
Well, there you go. That's my opinion. Well, let's see. Who else has an article that they're ready to share? John, you want to do yours?
Sure. So we're going to talk about the Ryu. Hold on.
All right. I gave you... Which one did I give you?
You gave me two, but I'll start with the Ryu.
Oh, right. Yes.
So the Ryu introduces a bike called the Adventure...
Ryu.
Sorry, Ryu.
Ryu.
Adventure 500 Legend ADV bike. So this is a mid-size, lower mid-size, I'd say, adventure bike that's kind of based on the looks of the Africa Twin.
It looks a lot like
Just a
like
tad.
Africa Twin or the Tenere 700.
It's got a
Say it again. What?
Ryu.
Okay.
Ryu 500
If you want to look it up, it's
Adventure 500
RIEJU. Ryu. It's a 500 Legend.
So it's got it's parallel twin. So it's funny because it looks like the Africa Twin, but it also has the similarities to the CB500X.
Oh, it's those gold rims that get me.
It's got the gold rims.
Gets me every time,
So
man.
it's got 471 cc's, about 47 PS of power, and 43 Newton meters of torque. Same engine. They use the engine in different places. So, yeah. So the engine is made in China by Lonkin. It's like they make lots of engines for lots of people, so that's not an issue in my view. Yeah, so basically what we have is a 500cc adventure bike that's a parallel twin. That's kind of like a cross between an Africa Twin and a CB500.
Yeah, it says it's reportedly under a Honda license, so there's some sort of Honda oversight there. Well, Emma always had feelings about a 500 twin dirt bike. And this seems to be what the Japanese are making in China.
I kind of like it.
So what's your?
I like it too.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
I have an issue, but John, since you're,
Has it got the fuel
do you
tank in the
care?
seat?
So here's the news. Do you care about this?
I do care.
Okay.
Because I think that it's a market that doesn't have a whole lot of size motorcycles. I think the CB500 is probably the only one that's an adventure bike. I mean, you got the 390 Adventure from KTM. You got the T7. There's not a whole lot of 500s that are in there that are adventure bikes, not enduro bikes.
Wonder how hard it is to get the old Ryu parts.
Well, if it's a clone of
Ryu parts.
if it's a clone of a Honda, this should be fairly easy.
It's a great looking bike though. I like it.
But it's not a clone of a Honda.
The engine is though.
I think for
the engine
if you had like a smaller statured person, I would say a 500cc adventure bike is a pretty neat idea. I think this would be great for a smaller statured person.
But see, that's where I come in, and I'm like, I don't know that we need a 500cc adventure bike. 500cc is a street bike, a commuter bike, an enduro bike. I
just
don't
picture
think
this
it's
for a
an
smaller
adventure
rider.
bike.
It's got 2118, so it's got the right wheel sizes.
Yeah, but what do we know? Seat height? We don't know that it's
No,
for
it doesn't have any specs like that.
Shorter rider. We don't know that it's for a shorter rider, especially if it's modeled
39-liter gas tank. I mean, there's a lot here to like, I think.
It is the CB500 engine, engine. Huh?
It is.
I just feel like for it to be an adventure bike, I think we're looking at a 700 to 800 cc minimum for it to be able to do.
Okay, check.
But why though?
Liza, you'll like this.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a curveball at you.
Okay.
What's really off the charts for this new entry is the Adventure's 500's bum-killing fuel capacity of 10.3 gallons.
That's a big deal.
Fucking 10-gallon fuel tank. I love that, bum-killing. So there's that. 600, you can go 600 miles on this fucking thing. Oh, 32-inch seat height. So where's that? What's 32.3-inch seat height?
It's getting up there.
And 418 pounds. So that's not
33 inches, said?
32.
That's lower than a KLR by far.
Is
stock?
It?
Yeah.
418 pounds, though.
Not with 10 gallons.
It's lighter than a So here's the argument. You get a bike that's stocked is lower than a KLR. It's got 10 more horsepower than a KLR. It's lighter than a KLR. So
fucking looks way better.
It does look better than the KLR, as much as I love them.
Does it come with an aftermarket smaller gas tank?
Yeah, it might be too. Well, just don't fill it up as much.
It just needs 7 or 8 gallons.
So I don't know. I think it's intriguing. Now I don't know the price point.
Well, this is like if someone was like, "Hey, the Honda CB 500X, if they made it more off-roady, this is what they've done."
Exactly.
They've made it more off-roady, which is cool. It's a cool thing to do.
Something I would, for the right rider, I think this is a great. It's a great step up from a smaller bike.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. I think 500 is too small for an adventure.
It's available everywhere.
But what if
it was at EICMA, so we're not sure.
But what if you're like a medium-sized, person? Like 5'5", 130 pounds or something.
KLR next year is making a lowered version.
Well,
that's cool.
Yeah, but they're so easy to lower.
We don't know that this is that small. When it has adventure on it, it's usually not a short bike, flat. I mean, look at the how much clearance it has underneath. That's a tall.
No,
bike.
it looks like an Africa Twin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it's cool.
I think it's cool too.
I just think 500 might be underpowered.
Nah,
not if you're 160 pounds.
It's not.
You know what I mean? Or 180 pounds.
There's
or 200
just a long way to
pounds.
go on this bike, I think.
Yeah.
It's got six speed, so you got a highway gear.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
To keep her.
it's a toss up. Okay.
All right, Doug, you want to go?
Sure.
Are you ready?
Helmets. Do we care? Let me find the damn
Of
article.
course we care.
All right. So Liza gave me this article. It's a Canadian article from CBC News.
Yeah.
Titled "Motorcycle Helmets Bought from Online Platforms Had Counterfeit Safety Certifications Test Fines." And what they found in Canada was that 3 major platforms, eBay, Amazon, and Walmart, their online marketplace, were selling false DOT certifications on name brand helmets.
That's some bad karma.
Which name brand helmets, they didn't say. And I'm not sure if this is just in Canada or the U.S., but where they were selling these helmets. But quote unquote marketplace purchase items or helmets for sale on Amazon, eBay, and Walmart's marketplace advertised as U.S. Department of Transportation DOT certified.
And to clarify, it's third-party vendors.
Right. And so there was a company that did tests on these certain helmets and they failed miserably. So basically they slapped a sticker on no DOT certification, selling name brand helmets.
So technically any eBay purchase is a third party, right?
Right.
Yeah. But Amazon and Walgreens, you'd be under the assumption you're buying from them
I bet you AliExpress
and not a
has got
third
few of
party,
these.
and that these are Chinese counterfeit helmets.
So this marketplace company also asked the U.S. Department of Transportation's the NTN. What is it?
That's fine. We get it.
The NSTH, whatever. And they said, yeah, we do kind of randomly test these helmets sometimes. Otherwise, if someone brings it to our attention, we'll certainly investigate and test and recall if necessary. So ultimately, do we care? I'd freaking hope so.
Yeah.
Well, and one thing they didn't clarify if these were counterfeit of existing helmets, like if they were selling it as a Bell or something.
Right.
But it sounds like they're not, that they're just some
said it was under
Chinese-
brand names, right?
Was it?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to put counterfeit stickers on a helmet that has no value. Your basic aim is to rip people off.
Right.
That's scary. This
But
is scary.
Yeah, there's pictures in here that shows testing of the helmets versus actual helmets that are certified, and the difference is staggering.
I mean, this is a good reason to go to a shop to buy a helmet.
Right. So
And this brought up the whole thing we were talking about at the garage today, that to have a DOT certified helmet, what they say in this article is it's a self-regulated system.
right.
That a manufacturer who goes through the testing to get the certification buys the stickers and puts them on. There is no governing body who's going to make sure you're not selling something that's not DOT approved. They're trusting the companies, which is why it's so easy for somebody to make a counterfeit and put it out there for sale, because you can buy a sticker on eBay that says DOT, which is kind of weird that there isn't some sort of
Now, what if these are
more
like
of a inspection point? You know what I
That's
mean?
where the Snell comes in, right?
Yeah.
what if they're like half German helmets that Harley guys ride and don't care?
Ja.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that we do care about this because
Yes,
I
we
think
do.
the people who are
do.
most likely buying cheap helmets
New riders.
online,
Are usually newer riders. Yeah.
yeah.
You ultimately go to a place where you can try one on, and
Oh, I don't know
make
about
sure
you.
it's legit.
In Pakistan, I saw some sketchy helmets. They were like they were plastic lids.
Yeah, well, I think I bought one that cost $3.
Jeez.
Nice.
It came to just between my lips, like not even down my chin.
It's not even a hard hat. It's just a thing.
Yeah, that's unfortunate to hear that is happening. I know when I go to like AliExpress and stuff, there's helmets there that are not name brands that I know, that you're like, that's sus. I don't think I would buy that. But if they're actually calling them other brands and knocking them off, that sucks. Yeah, it really sucks.
It's almost as bad as somebody buying knockoff Climb gloves.
Who would ever do that?
Who would do that?
For shame.
Liza.
Yep.
I saw Liza's mind just thinking all the things she's gotten through.
No, but I mean, there's a world of difference between buying knockoff gloves knowing they're knockoffs.
What about handlebar risers?
Oh, God. Don't even get me started.
Haley Bell, if you're listening.
How about steering dampers?
No.
Yes.
What do you mean no?
Fuck, I would never. Anything that attaches your handlebars
So,
to the motorbike, more or less.
I was
would
talking
not.
to Scotty, who also bought one of those.
Scotty Pippen,
No, Scotty, who was in the garage today. So
here with
how
MJ.
much was your Scott steering damper?
like $630. It was
Yeah.
expensive. Yeah.
So we both bought the ones for $200 that are identical, other than having the engraving on the top. We looked at it, and Scotty said that she took the top off of hers to
Yes.
look inside, and that it was all functioning right.
Right.
That she's very happy with the quality, and I believe that is one of the cases where it's a factory overrun of the same product you bought, because sometimes it is just a factory overrun. Scotty orders from the factory in China, says we need 10,000 units, and they make 13,000 units.
I get it.
3,000,
I rely on hope all the time too.
So sometimes it is a cheap
Just
knockoff that is not worth it.
Okay.
And that was one I think I won. That was a good one.
I've got a confession to make.
Oh, what?
And
Another
I'm
one?
I'm going to make it right now because I think it's appropriate. So, as you know, I am doing a build right now on a Yamaha XS 1100.
Yeah.
And I want it to look good because I like my bikes to look good. But I don't want to spend a massive amount of money because an XS11, as good a bike as they are, they're not high dollar bikes.
This is what your bike?
79.
Yeah, it's not a new bike.
Right. So, I bought a pair of knockoff Olins for the back.
Oh, yeah.
And, no, these things are amazing. They've got gold. They've got gold anodized piggybacks on them. They've got yellow springs. They've got blue anodized
They're
adjusters.
amazing. They're sparkly.
They are exact knockoffs of Olins. And I ferreted around in the drawer at work, and I found an Olin sticker, and I put. I'm sorry. Oh God, I feel so terrible. But that's what makes them real, right?
Exactly.
No, but
But yeah,
just to bring it back, there are sometimes the knockoffs may be just as good. In this case, I think what we're all saying is, don't buy a helmet that's a
Right.
knockoff. Don't buy a helmet.
Well,
that's a knockoff.
steering dampers, even shocks, you know, if they're a bit bouncy and the steering damper's not great, but helmets, you rely on a helmet to do its job 100%. And people are not putting hokey fake stickers on good quality helmets. These things are just shitty quality, and the chances are you buy a helmet that you think's going to save you.
So, just I guess my best advice, and I'm only making a guess here. The price, whatever the price is online, wherever you're buying it, should be close to the manufacturer's suggested price.
Yeah.
If the deal is too good to be true,
It probably is.
it's too good to be true.
yeah. And another thing that comes into play, at least for me, it's certainly mental. You know, I have enough issues riding, obviously, that I don't want to be in the back of my mind being like, should I have gotten that, cheaper, part, for my bike that that now I'm kind of relying on, So even mentally, I think that would just fuck with my head. If I got a knockoff Chinese steering damper, I think every time I look down at it, I've been like, I should have spent the extra $400 just so I wouldn't be tripping on it.
In your head.
Yeah. Yes, it's
All right.
bad enough place on a good day.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Jim, do you have yours ready?
I do. And when you gave it to me, I was utterly bored at first. And now I still am. No, I'm actually kidding. So I found it to be interesting.
Well, maybe
Hopefully
the answer is we don't care.
Hopefully-
That could be the answer.
So turning trash into treasure. Bearing Freeway kit created using 70% recycled plastic. It said kit because it's one of those British publications.
Oh, that makes sense.
So French.
Wait, and Emma, what does kit refer to?
A kit is basically what you wear. It's your
There it
clothing.
is.
It's your clobber.
So if you're
Your clobber?
Yeah, clobber. Good day, clobber.
So if you know your French clobber, Bearing is a French motorcycle clothing company. They've been making nice stuff for a while. It's kind of high end synthetic
I
stuff.
know Bearing stuff. It's very good stuff.
Yeah, pretty neat looking stuff. But what they started doing is making it out of recycled plastic bottles that are sucked up out of the ocean.
Oh.
And I'm super down with this now because they're finding plastic in everything now, right? Like in embryos, and it's just totally permeated people. And I hate to always say like it's too late to do anything about it. So I actually found this to be interesting. The one thing I like is the jackets look good. But more importantly, they're using a ton of these bottles. I think what was the number? 30 million or billion bottles Yeah, 30 billion plastic bottles from the environment have recycled it. But it's this fabric called Repreve that they're using in a bunch of different things. So Nike's using it, North Face is using it. And it reminds me of like a Revit jacket, like a white and black Revit kind of looking jacket. Mm-hmm. It also has some funky tweed paneling as well. So nice European touch, like a funky tweed thing. So should we care? It's just one more jacket. I think it's interesting because I don't think we pay enough attention to what they make overseas, especially in Europe, because the weather's so shitty over there and they ride all the time. Ooh. So that, like, my Merlin jacket I got is from the UK because it's fucking bomb because they have to ride in shitty weather. So I think it's kind of interesting because it opens the door to international.
I was trying to understand how plastic bottles become a jacket, and I don't know if you read this line. It says the bottles are cleaned, flaked, melted, and extruded to form fibers that are then spun into yarn to be used in a variety of products.
Yeah, it looks like these giant plastic rolls that you would lift with a material handler and load onto freight cars. And then they're just starting to make all sorts of shit out of it. So, I mean, I guess it's still plastic. I don't know if I don't know if there's any better use for it, but at least it's not floating around the ocean somewhere.
No, I think that's great.
Emma, if you can interpret this the sentence for our listeners.
Yes.
So the suit should be available with the jacket retailing at £464.
Yes.
And the trousers at £299.
Right. So £464 is about that's getting up there. That's about
$5.25, right?
Yeah, $550, and the trousers, the pants.
It's still but it's
$350 easy.
$558. So, but that's still a deal compared to Climb, unless you get the knockoff stuff.
Right.
But I'll tell you, Climb gear's no fucking deal. I tell you what. Pardon my French.
Right.
But it's good. But it's good gear.
So I think it's awesome that we're building clothes out of bottles. I think that's wonderful.
Yes.
Do I care about its motorcycle jacket? Not really, because it's not going to move the needle. Once you start, building jeans and stuff for the mass market, 100% down with that.
Yeah, I think also if it appealed to you aesthetically, like if you're like, well, that's a great looking jacket, and it does that, cool. And there are younger people, believe it or not, than us that ride motorcycles, and they do care a lot more about that kind of shit. So hopefully, at least it's an option. But yeah, I don't know.
I think John just
now I kind of want to buy one.
Won that argument. I think I don't care anymore. You're right.
Yeah.
Anything environmental, I think I'd be with you on that.
Oh, well done. Bagel, how about your article? Are we going to care?
Well, maybe. I think it's something that is worth caring about.
If it's about a scooter, I don't care.
Oh, Emma.
But what if it's a kitten? If it was a kitten,
it is a scooter, but it's not just your average scooter, though. This is a rather, well, let's just say it's unusual.
It looks like it's made of Lego.
Yeah, it does look kind of Lego-like. It's the Horwin Senmenti Zero. This is a company made by a scooter made by an Austrian-owned company that manufactures their products in China. And this bike is apparently, from everything I've been seeing, is destined for the European market specifically, but may end up in other Asian markets and places too. Yes.
Can I point out that maybe this is another one of those names that should have made it through the translation? Horwin?
Well, I don't know.
I wonder if there's a Horluz.
Senmenti?
Well,
is it actually the semen? The Horwin semen?
I know. The Horwin Senmenti. It's like...
That'd be related to the dog then, right?
Amore. That's amore.
Oh, it's been a long time since Italian Spider-Man.
Italian Spider-Man mobile.
And it's super trick.
It is trick.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite an interesting bike.
All right.
Now, I don't know the history of this company. Now, I suspect this might have been a small Austrian manufacturer from years ago that has been revitalized and made into a modern company. I don't know. Emma, have you heard of Horwin before?
No.
Okay.
I'm going 200 kilometers an hour.
I remember Horex very, very well. We're German manufacturers.
Yeah, German company.
But Horwin?
Yeah.
No.
I've never heard of it either.
They may have been going back then, but anyway.
Yeah, but apparently they have produced a motorcycle before, like an electric motorcycle, I think. I didn't really look into that too much, but this scooter it's all electric, and it has 186 mile range.
Okay.
And that's not at 20 miles an hour. That's at 55 miles per hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This bike also has a 124 mile per hour top speed.
Oh.
A scooter.
I told you, man, 200 kilometers per hour. It's going to haul the
200
mail.
kilometers per hour. Yeah.
That is going to be terrifying on little wheels.
Well, and I've not been able to find out how big the wheels are. I suspect they're probably at least 14 or 15 inches based on the speeds. But I couldn't find specs on it yet. But it is equipped with fast charging, which will get it up to 80% in 30 minutes. It will do 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, which is 62.5 miles per hour, in 2.8 seconds. It has a 400 volt electrical system, which is a pretty high voltage for electric vehicles. Depending on the especially for electric scooters, that's very high, which is not surprising considering how much power it produces. And speaking of power, it produces 600 Newton meters of torque at the rear wheel. That's 442 pounds-feet of torque.
How many Fig Newtons is that?
442 Fig Newtons.
Emma, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Fig Newtons is 600 Fig Newtons.
Hey, Emma, can you make a little more noise?
She can.
Packaging?
No, I mean, when I'm presented with a large diameter salted caramel cookie, there's no reasoning with me.
I think Liza's got a mouthful of chocolate chips, so
Yeah, exactly.
it's contagious.
You know.
I don't want
So,
Right, you make
I'm having
make
a
plenty of
fucking
noise
sugar rush.
opening that,
So,
John.
Bagel, my first question is, John, seriously.
It's a cookie.
All right, no
You
more
can-
loud packaging loud. Bagel,
So,
my question
what I'm-
is,
what
all
I'm-
these claimed numbers,
Yes.
how close do you think they are to being accurate?
well, that is a very good question. I would really like to think they're very close to accurate because I really like those numbers. Those sound like really fun numbers. But we shall see. Now, there are some interesting things about the design of this bike, and I really would like to find out more about it because part of this makes me a little nervous, but it could actually end up producing a very efficient design that would make this a really good bike. It has basically the main frame of the bike is built around the battery. So they're marketing this as the battery is a structural member of the frame. And the motor is part of that structure as well. So you have basically the motor attached to the back of the battery with the electronics all in the same central, cradle of the frame. So it's all one stress member of the chassis. And then it has a swing arm off of the rear that's belt driven. So it's a very purpose-built machine. And if these numbers prove to be realistic, they've got a really awesome competitor on their hands here, especially with the fast charging. That's going to be key with something that produces this much power and consumes that much power.
All right, so you're talking about all those stats. What I'm looking at is the sensors include ones to monitor tire pressure, ABS, assisted hill start and crash alert system, reverse assist, keyless start, driving modes, adaptable suspension, heated grips, and a heated seat are also included. And pay attention, Jim. The battery can also be used to power camping equipment and other electric accessories.
Ooh, great.
I'm like, wait, what?
Right. It's like they thought of everything with this bike. And so it's got all the bells and whistles, like whatever you'd expect to see on a high-end motorcycle, this thing pretty much has.
Yeah, but what are those stats like when you're running all the heated things?
I was going to say,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's a good question too, because heated grips and other heated components definitely will draw a lot of power. So, that's part of the dance you have to do with an electric vehicles. You have to balance that. But the fact that it's capable of doing that is really nice. So, now there are some things in here that do make me a little nervous. Apparently, it has some sort of an like adaptive learning system that's AI based or something that learns the way you ride and adapts to it.
I'm guessing it's like a Tesla, that you're able to program all the where you want the mirrors in the seat and all the things.
No. It's not not a programmable thing. This is the thing where the bike learns from based on how you ride.
Okay,
and
it's getting kind of creepy,
like Transformers.
Yeah, and it's like what is it learning to do? How is it going to respond? How is it going to change based on the inputs that I'm giving it? Because if I'm giving it inputs to do a certain thing, it's because I want it to do a thing, not do something different. I don't want it to think for me. But I don't know anything about how that works or what that's like. But it does give me some pause. I'm a little hesitant to jump into something like that. But who knows? Maybe it's like an adaptive launch control that makes sure you won't flip the bike over backwards when you crack the throttle. I don't know.
So I will tell you why I care about this story.
Why do you care?
And I don't think it's for any of the things we've mentioned or talked about. Though it's one of the things in here. And I don't care because it's an electric or because it's a scooter, because it has this capacity, or I care because it says it has adaptable suspension. And other than the Harley Pan America having an adaptable suspension, this is something I think more and more bikes should have.
Do you know how they work?
Well, there's different types.
So basically, mostly adaptive suspension works via magnetism, and there's iron filings in the chamber. When you apply a magnetic pulse to a current, it moves this mass around within the shock, and it can slow down or speed up the damping. It's very simple. It's remarkably simple.
Well, in the case of the Pan America with the adaptive, you can it senses when you're slowing down and it'll lower the bike.
Well, that's something slightly different. That's actually self-lowering suspension.
Is that more hydraulic, or is it still the same thing?
No, there's electronic. It's got an electronic override on it, and I think the Pan America works on a cam system for the rear.
And the GS1250 Rally, it kind of weighs you and self-balances.
Right.
That's kind of an adapt. I mean, there's different versions. I think more and more bikes should have a self-adjusting suspension.
But, inevitably, the stuff we see at very, very high-end stuff, and the one thing we haven't talked about is how much this beast is going to cost. And I suspect it's going to be extremely expensive.
Yes.
But the Multistradas had adaptive suspension for years. So the things we see as high-end bikes now become more mainstream.
Yeah.
I think your GSX has got adaptive suspension, hasn't it? Oh, no, it's got manual, hasn't it?
Yes, it clicks.
I guarantee you the 2023 or 2024 model, instead of that clicker on the top of the fork, you'll see a wire going in.
That'd be fine with me.
Like a plastic blob.
Yeah.
And then you'll have like a wheel on the
I am jealous when I see that.
Yes. I know.
You know where else we saw that is with Mert Lawwell and his prosthetic limbs for motorcycle riding. I don't know if you remember, but it was the same concept where the oil in the inside the suspension had pieces of metal or something.
Yes.
And depending on the electric charge, the metal would orient in different ways, going faster or slower through the orifices of the suspension.
Exactly. That's how it works. It's really very, very... It's one of those fiendishly simple things that works extremely well.
So that's why I care. I saw that. I'm like, I want to see that more. But it'll be interesting to see these things coming out in vehicles.
Right here.
Yeah.
So will this vehicle be a success? I don't know, but will it be a step on the road to the right thing?
This one has so much it scares me a little bit.
It's got a lot of get up and go.
Yeah.
Well, it's also got a
ripper.
lot of dongles and stuff. So,
right.
I'd want to see if it's actually going to last.
Right, and that's another thing too that I worry about, because this is a brand new bike from what seems to be a fairly new company. How reliable is this thing going to be, especially in the first year that it comes out? So who knows? We'll see.
Who do you think the market is for this bike?
I think this market is being directed at like high-end European, like
Saudis.
Young professional people, like who
Qatar.
want a cool, modern high tech bike to ride around
I think
and, to work and stuff.
It's marketed at scooter riding EV nuts.
That's part of it, I'm sure. I mean, any EV nut is going to be, be very interested in this.
Yeah.
Especially two-wheel riding EV nut. And there are a couple other things about this that are interesting too. It has a seat height that is just over 30 inches. So this is, even though it seems like it's a fairly big bike, the seat height's really low. So it's accessible for smaller riders as well.
All right. Well, all right. Thank you, Bagel.
No, sure. And the last note is I don't see any mention of this coming to the U.S. I would be surprised if they bring it here, but if they did, I would be very interested.
There it is. All right, we got one more. Saving the best for last.
Not necessarily.
Oh, well.
And this comes out of EICMA, the EICMA show this year. Italian exotica brand Bimota have shocked crowds at the EICMA trade show in Milan with a new BX450 Enduro model based on the Kawasaki KX450X. I'm going to leave out that paragraph. With production said to have already started, the red, white and green off-roader is based heavily on the 8,499-pound Kawasaki. Features a 449cc double overhead cam, liquid-cooled single-cylinder, four-cylinder motor. Sits in the same aluminium perimeter frame as the Kawasaki. Electronic engine management system, blah, blah, blah. The only difference, as far as I can tell, alongside new colours, the BX distinguishes itself from the Kawasaki with a front headlight and handguards, and a slightly larger fuel tank from 6.2 litres up to 10.7. Otherwise, it is exactly the same as the Kawasaki. I don't care about this.
How do you spell it? What is it?
A Bimota. 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 What did I say it was, the model? BX450. I mean, it's a great looking bike.
Well, it feels like the only reason to care is it's an Enduro with a light.
Well, no, the Kawasaki's got a light.
I'm on the website. I don't see a light on them.
Yeah.
Well, Emma, is this, Bimota's been around a long time. Is this the first time they've done a dirt bike?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Well, it's interesting, but it's kind of, it's obsolete. I'm not saying it's obsolete because of what it is. It's not different enough from the Kawasaki to make a difference. I think the market for this bike is just somebody who wants something different and is willing to pay a massive amount of money.
What's the power plant? Is it Kawasaki?
It's Kawasaki. The frame is Kawasaki.
It looks like it comes in World Cup soccer colors.
Yes, it does.
Yes, that's pretty much why I think you would buy it.
Here's what I find that's interesting about this. Emma, this bike they're listing at 8,499 pounds.
Yes.
I looked up the Kawasaki KX 450. How much cheaper do you think that bike is than this?
The 8,499 is for the Kawasaki. It's not for this bike.
Oh.
They're not listing a price for this bike.
I'd go in the category I could care less. There's already so many bikes in this category. Well, if European, Japanese, plenty of bikes.
And if you understand Bimota and what Bimota is, this bike doesn't make sense to me because it's not what Bimota really is.
Yeah, it's not what they do, and I guess I don't understand why they're making a bike that's so similar to the Kawasaki.
I do. There is a paragraph in there which makes everything make sense, which I was kind of leaving. But I will include because I think you want me to do a little bit of a history hole, don't you?
Yeah, so this leads into something else. So this kind of leads into a tell me why.
Yes.
Emma, so I was sharing a story with you. When I was a kid, I walked into a motorcycle shop. I used to go down to this shopping area in Oakland that had a pet store and a motorcycle shop and just all these different, an ice cream parlor,
Yes.
And I would just go and wander in and just look at stuff. And I remember walking into this motorcycle shop and staring at this beautiful sport bike. and it was a Bimota, and I'm just standing there staring at it, and a guy came over and said, "Hey kid, get away from that!" And like it locked in for me that there's something about Bimotas like I can't go near it. I'm not allowed near it. It's too good for me.
It's the forbidden fruit.
Yeah, the forbidden fruit.
It was, and funnily enough, I have a very, very similar story. So back in 1979, when I was 17 years old, Mike Hailwood, teamed up with Rod Gould of Heron Suzuki, and they opened a shop in Birmingham called Hailwood and Gould. What a surprise. And it was every inch the Superbike Centre, and they had absolutely everything in there, and it was just fantastic showroom. And they had a Bimota in there. And as a scruffy 17-year-old with a Kawasaki KH250, I went in there to have a look at it, and the salesman shuffled over and is like, "Kid, you can't even afford to look at that bike."
Right?
So, I mean, they were exotic from day one. And like you, I've always shared a fascination. So who are they? What are they? Why are they?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, Jim, have you ever seen a Bimota in the wild?
Oh, I'm sure we have it, but I couldn't tell you what they look like.
I think I've only seen maybe 2 or 3 ever in my life.
I saw them in the 80s.
Yeah, they pop up every now and then at the Mecum auctions, and surprisingly, they don't fetch as much massive money as you'd think. But they're always gloriously styled, and they're always just beautifully made, because that's Bimota. So I will tell you why.
Tell me why.
So let's go back to 1966, and we have 3 gentlemen whose last names were Bianchi, Mori, and Tamburini. Now, remember Tamburini because he's had quite a career in motorcycling.
Did he create the tambourine too?
No, not quite.
Okay.
No, it's the smaller version called the Tamburini.
And
that's true.
They had a lovely little factory in Rimini, Italy, making heating and air conditioning components. However, they were all very, very passionate motorbikers. So anyway, we're going to fast forward 6 years to 1972, and Tamburini, who was also a keen motorcycle racer, wrecked his 750 Honda at Misano racing course and smashed himself up good and proper, and realized, like a lot of Japanese bikes of the period, this thing made good power, but it handled badly. And he wanted to do something about it. So back then, there were so few people who were doing upgraded frames. But the one was Fritz Egli.
Oh.
Or Egli. And we've talked about Eglis before.
Or
I mean,
like
he was
Rickmans.
Yeah, I mean, these guys were the pioneers. Mm-hmm. But Egli in particular, they were making frames for large, high-capacity bikes. And so these guys thought, look, we're gonna have a go at making frames that are going to make these high-powered Japanese engines handle better. And the first effort was the HB1. And the thing is with Bimotas, and they've kept this designation right up till today for the big stuff, the sporting stuff, HB stands for Honda-based. Number 1 was the first one they made. So the first one came in 1973. Tamburini really designed it. He was the guy who was really the driving force. Funnily enough, that same year, Bianchi left, so it was just Mori and Tamburini who were at the controls. They made the HB1, had all the power that the 754 had, but it was 50 kilograms lighter.
I have a question.
Yes.
So it's always been my understanding, and part of the reason I wanted you to talk about the Bimotas is I've never really understood it. So tell me if I'm close. I always kind of felt like Bimota took like a stock Honda or Kawasaki and then replaced parts and made a better version. Because in my mind, and we've talked about this before, when Honda puts out a bike, there's certain things they're going to cut corners on,
right?
Because some bean counter said we got to keep it down to this, so they're going to maybe not put the best suspension or maybe not put the best brakes on. So I thought then Bimoto just takes a bike and like puts all the good stuff back on and makes the best bike you can.
It's a little bit more than that, and that, believe me, there were plenty of manufacturers in England that did that. And to a certain extent, Rickman, although Rickman made his own frames, he did plenty, the Rickman brothers did plenty of bolt-on stuff as well. And Dunstall, and Dave Deegans, who ran Dresda. And what all those guys did is they'd do bolt-on components. You could bolt on better forks, you could bolt on better brakes, you could bolt on better wheels. But essentially, it was still the basic bike. What Bimota did was they plucked the engine out and kept the engine, because that was the good stuff. Threw away the exhaust system, threw away the carburation, and then built a completely new bike around that. So it was a little more than just building accessories. This was a complete bike with an engine from Japan. So their first effort was the HB1. One of the most notable bikes was the KB1, which came along in 1977, which was Kawasaki-based, because it's a K, of course.
Would that have been a KZ1000 or something?
KZ1000.
Okay.
And if you have ever had the fortune to ride one of these early KZ1000s, they have a massive amount of power, but they are absolutely terrifying to ride because the handling was so poor. And it really took Japan a long time to figure out handling. Kawasaki really never made big bikes that handled well until the Mark IIs came in 1980. So it was easy pickings for people to make frames that actually made these things go around corners and lose a lot of weight. So we're talking low production here. The KB1 was considered a very, very popular bike, and they made 300 of them. The next one was an SB1, which was a 750 Suzuki, and then an SB2, which was 1000 Suzuki, based on the GS 750 and the GS 1000. Again, 500 units, you're talking very, very small production. And that's what Bimota kind of was. You bought a Bimota because the handling was absolutely superb. It was absolutely state-of-the-art material, state-of-the-art components. You lost a lot of weight. A lot of weight. You're talking 100 pounds lighter than the stock bikes.
That's more than a breakfast burrito.
That is a lot more than a breakfast burrito. But they were massively expensive. I mean, and that's why they were so rare. You needed a big bank account. So we're going to fast forward to 1983. And our friend Tamburini left the company. It's thought that it was not the friendliest breakup, that he was forced out by Mori, because Mori wanted to push the company in a slightly different direction. And Tamburini was this very, very flamboyant designer. Design was always a big concern. Performance was always a big concern. So Tamburini went to Cagiva. And where you might have heard of him, during his period at Cagiva, he penned the 916 Ducati, because Ducati, as we know them now, were born out of the ashes of Cagiva, which was kind of born out of the ashes of Ermaki. But nevertheless, he was the guy who was responsible for the 916. He was also the guy that was responsible for the MV Augusta F4, which a lot of people think is just the most gloriously gorgeous bike in the world, and I'm one of them.
I guess I'm confused too how somebody is building a motorcycle company buying main component from another company.
With Ducati engines.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to come to the Ducati. So when Tamburini left, he was replaced by a younger guy who was 20 years younger, Federico Martini. And Martini really wanted to focus on the Ducatis. So he built a DB1, which was based on the 750 Passo.
I can break that code.
Yeah,
DB.
there you go. And then all the YB1 was originally an FC750. The YB2 was an FC1000. Now we'd got to the YB4, which was based, of course, on a Yamaha, which is TZ250. So they made smaller bikes as well. And the hallmark of all of their bikes was lightweight, beautiful build, good design.
So are these track bikes?
No, these are street bikes.
So are they basically out Ducati, meaning...
In a lot of ways, yes.
We think of Ducati. Many Ducatis are what do you call a boutique bike?
Right.
So this is a really high-end boutique bike.
Well, we're going to come to the Tessie.
Yes. I sent you guys pictures of the
crazy.
Tessies. Did you get that, Bagel?
Yeah, we're going to come to the Tessie.
This one's fascinating.
So the Tessie was really the brainchild of Federico Martini. And it's based on the 851 Duck engine with a completely hand-built frame, leading axle front fork with hub center steering.
Yeah, so can you explain that? Did you guys catch that?
Yeah, you have to see a picture of it almost. Yeah.
There's no forks. There are no traditional forks coming down from the handlebars.
What forks?
Which other ones have these? Who else does this?
Oh, no, Yamaha had their own version way back in the 90s. There's
and
been
BMWs use that.
Yeah, well, it's kind of...
The Italjet Dragster
Yeah, the
has
Italjet
a version of that.
Dragster has a version
Except
of that.
that's a single-sided version, I think.
Right.
This is a dual-sided fork.
Yes, but never...
Yeah.
It's very, very strong.
Well, and for people who aren't looking at a picture, when we say fork, it is not extending down from the handlebars. It is coming out straight out from the engine.
It's a front swing arm.
It's a front swing arm.
It's a front swing arm
with a pivoting wheel.
with a link.
Now,
so you can turn the wheel. The advantage is there's no dive under braking.
Yeah.
The geometry of the bike stays the same. The biggest problem with a telescopic fork is they stick out. They stick out at an angle. And that's what's called rake and trail. The rake is the degrees to which they stick out, and the trail is the difference between where the axle would be if you draw a straight line down the fork, or where the axle is. So, it's rake and trail. But the key thing with a bike is when you're riding it and the forks compress, in effect, the bike shortens itself, because as the forks go up, the wheel moves closer to the engine. So the wheelbase of the bike changes, and it changes the dynamic of how the bike handles. That's basically why most track bikes have very, very firm suspension, because you don't want these changes. To a certain extent, the swing arm does the same. This setup that was on the Tessie really did away with all that. The geometry of the bike stays the same, whether you're accelerating, whether you're braking, whether you're in a turn. It's an incredibly clever but read complex and expensive design.
So is that suspension adjustable, or does it not need to be adjusted?
No, it's completely adjustable.
Okay, I'm just trying to look at where the hell do you adjust things
there's
on?
a shock absorber within with a spring, and you adjust it as you would a rear shock.
Which is also horizontal.
Yeah.
You can't even see it with the naked photos.
With suspension like this, and basically suspension as we know it, that is coming down from the handlebars, when you are hitting a bump in the road, it's like taking a direct hit.
Right.
Whereas when these forks are coming out from the engine horizontal to the road and you hit a bump, it's like a glancing blow.
Exactly. I mean, you're
sense,
painting
right?
with a very broad brush there, but it's a hugely advantageous system.
So it's much more efficient.
The disadvantage is it's very expensive.
Yeah.
It requires very specialist setting up, and it is quite maintenance heavy. Now, if you're making a $10,000 superbike, having a front end that needs adjusting every 1,000 miles at the cost of how much per hour doesn't make much sense. But if you've got like a $70,000, $80,000 superbike,
yeah, but you're already getting the valves done that frequently,
right? Exactly. So there you go.
Yeah. And there is also one other disadvantage that I wanted to mention too. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that because of the suspension geometry, you also lose a great deal of road feel, because you don't have those forks going straight down, so you don't feel the inputs from the surface of the road like you would normally on a traditional motorcycle, right?
Yes, exactly, and that's actually an advantage. So, I'm not going to go into the gruesome parts, but basically since 2001, Bimota have gone bankrupt no less than 3 times. Why is this? Well, there's a variety of reasons. My own opinion is Japanese bikes have just gotten very, very good. If we go back to the early 70s when Bimoto was founded, or the mid-70s, or even the late 70s, let's go back to the heyday of Japanese horsepower, which was the late 70s. You could waddle into a Suzuki dealer, slap a couple of grand down on a GSX 1100, which produced 110 horsepower, which was a genuine 10-second quarter-mile machine, do 145 miles an hour, out the box, without any modification, and was absolutely fucking terrifying to ride. Absolutely terrifying, because they still hadn't got handling down pat. These bikes made perfect sense. So now, let's move. Really, we'll talk a little bit about Rufus and that generation. By the mid to late 90s, with a couple of exceptions, you could buy entry-level superbikes. Rufus was not an expensive bike when he was new. That handled well, that braked well, that did everything really well. And bespoke Italian superbikes really had become obsolete because they were better. Of course they were better, but they weren't just light years better.
Were they better or betterer?
I think betterer.
Mo better.
Mo betterer. Because if you've got a KZ1000 that handles like a 3-legged horse, and then you slap down 20 or 30 grand on a Bimota that really handles better than most race bikes, that makes sense. But then when you move along 20, 30 years, and yes, it handles better than an FC1 or an R1, not that much, but it's still 2 or 3 times the price. It just becomes a plaything for very, very rich people.
It's not far enough above the quality
right.
of the other
So,
bikes.
you know, the advancement in motorcycles was really the death knell for them. So anyway, we're going to get to...
Well, then I want to say, I'm surprised that they haven't come out with a zero power plant.
Well, that's coming.
Bike.
So
right,
we're gonna kind of come to 2014, and it was a deal that took to 27. Don't do that, Jim. It was a deal that took to 2017, but basically the shares in Bimoto were sold to Kawasaki.
Oh,
and Kawasaki, if you don't know, are the biggest of the 4 manufacturers. Not in terms of the motorcycle, but
heavy
in terms
industries.
In terms of the parent company.
Are you sure it wasn't lost like in a card game? I think that's more believable.
It may well have been.
Might have been Mahjong.
But, you know...
Exactly.
Baccarat.
Kawasaki
Totally.
have plenty of money to throw about. So the deal was struck that Kawasaki would buy 49, I think, 0.4% of the company, leaving 50.6% in control of Italy. So now they've got some financial clout behind them. We're getting more interesting bikes come out. And to me, the 450, big deal. The Tessie H2R is quite interesting from an engineering standpoint because it's got the supercharged Kawasaki H2 engine with that glorious front swing arm on it from the original Tessie from over 20 years ago. Whether it's substantially better than an H2, I really don't know.
Yeah.
It's a very different looking bike. I think it's always been a boutique manufacturer, but I remember back in the day a couple of people I knew who bought them. They bought them because they were really, really into bikes. And they were so much better than anything else around. That was a good enough reason. I think buying a Bimota today in 2022, you're just buying it because you want an exclusive bike, and I'm not sure whether that's a good enough reason to drop double the money.
I wonder if we've seen those at the Arma Racing. Because I could see like an enthusiast, right, collector enthusiast. Because they're fast bikes. They're great looking bikes.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we've seen them like. Keep an eye out now.
Yeah, we
the
may
older
have.
bikes. The older bikes.
I don't know, because the cost to repair, if you crash one, just getting body parts are almost impossible.
Interestingly enough, do you know the fastest Bimota ever made was a BB? I think it was a BB4, which was a BMW S1000RR based. Amazingly quick bike.
And it's hard to think that that's such an extremely capable bike that there could be any improvements to make on that bike.
But there was. I mean, there's always weight to be saved. There's always geometry to change. And I think the thing to remember about Bimotas, they were very, very uncompromising bikes. I mean, it's not something you'd want to go distance on. I mean, it's it's a race bike with lights on it. So there you go. And I really, before I say goodbye, I do want to give 2 honourable mentions to our French friends at Motor Martin, which was founded in 1970 by Georges Martin, and they did the same thing. They took big, burly Japanese engines and wrapped a very, very lightweight frame around them. They didn't make it until they struggled along till 1980, but they did a glorious Motor Martin CBX and a Motor Martin KZ1000 Turbo, which was a lovely thing. And then finally, the British contingent, good old Spondon. And Spondon was founded in
I thought that was a dessert.
No. Founded in 1969. Have you noticed a commonality? All of these manufacturers were founded around the same time, when the Japanese bikes were making big horsepower but throwing people in ditches.
Yeah. Well, I can't believe we haven't talked about Rickman in that vein.
Well, he did something slightly different. We're talking about the boutique guys. So Spondon was founded by Bob Stevenson, who came from Rolls-Royce, and Stuart Tiller. During the 1970s and 80s, they were very involved with Barton Engineering. Do you remember that name, Liza?
I know Barton Pump.
Was there a car?
No.
No, then I don't.
Buell.
Oh, right. The early Buell.
The early Buell had a Barton engine.
Yeah, when he bought that engine.
Exactly. So anyway, in 2010, all the tooling, all the machinery that was Spondon was sold to Norton Motorcycles. That's the new Norton.
Right.
And it was kind of put away in mothballs. However, one employee called Gavin Goddard, who had worked for Spondon for 20 years, started his own company called GIA Engineering. And he is currently making Spondon frames. And they are a thing of great beauty. So out of the 3, Motor Martin, you have to buy a used one. Bimota, you can buy new, but it's not the Bimota of old. But good old Spondon. If you visit GIA Engineering, you can buy yourself a brand new Spondon frame. How about that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emma.
You're welcome.
I wanted to do another short little segment. I'm calling this one Separated at Birth. Here's my theory, that all of our motorcycles were separated at birth from their fraternal twin, which is an automotive, a car. And I want to go around the room and ask everyone to guess what is the twin to their bike. So, for instance, like I was saying, like my Africa twin, I think its twin is the new Bronco. I kind of feel like it's a Bronco. What, you don't agree?
No, I think it might be.
I think that's a good.
I don't know. The new Broncos are more like the T7s. A little more mid-size.
Yeah.
Well, what would you put the Africa twin at?
I don't know. One of those redneck trucks. You know, to like,
I don't know.
In olive drab green.
Oh, you surely you mean
actually,
a brodozer.
A brodozer.
Yeah, actually, Liza, I was over at a friend's house this afternoon. Yeah. He has a Honda side-by-side, that has the same Africa Twin engine and DCT in it, which I called it the Africa Quad.
Well, John, what do you think is the separated berth twin for the KLR 650?
I thought a lot about this. I stayed up all night thinking about this.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a Ford F-150 or a Toyota T100.
Yeah, I don't disagree with either of those. Probably more the T100, I think.
Yeah, a little less sexy than F-150. Yep.
We were talking about this in the parking lot today and asked Ellie what she thought her Versus 650 was, and she easy, it's a Subaru Forester.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
That's not bad. Yeah, I can totally see that.
So, Emma, what is Rufus's twin?
Oh, that's the easiest thing in the world. Datsun Z car.
What, like the
No, he's a
300Z?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why not?
It's more of a 280, I think.
Yeah, big, fast, ugly, an iconic. Yeah, it's a Z car. Not necessarily in the best possible taste.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, I'll stand by that.
Oh, I got one for your Triumph, and
Yeah, I
this
was
one's a
wondering-
no-brainer.
What?
Range Rover.
Oh, yeah.
The Triumph Tiger is a Range Rover.
Yeah, of course it is.
That fits. Yep, I agree.
See, I think there is a separated berth twin. All right, Doug, pick one of your bikes.
I'm going to go with the CB400T Hawk. And
no.
The first thing that came to mind is the Subaru Brat.
That was like a Datsun B210.
Yeah, that's what I go with, a Datsun B210. I think you're much closer. That is interesting. Or a Honda Civic.
And then
that's a Honda Civic.
The XR650R Supermoto, the first thing that came to mind was a Volkswagen Bug, but with the sand get up with the extended swing arms.
The Baja?
Yeah, the Baja Bug.
The Baja
Bug.
I think that's pretty good. Jim, pick one of your bikes. What do you think?
I will, of course, pick the Suzuki GSXS 1000 GT.
Ooh,
and its sibling separated berth is the McLaren GT.
Oh.
The McLaren GT sweeping sculpted profile isn't simply our interpretation of what a Grand Tour can be, but what it should be. Driven by everything for a reason design philosophy, fueled by the spirit of innovation, it all starts at the core. So anyway, our iconic dihedral doors, unique in Class 2, versatile, spacious, and elegant form, is a model of aerodynamic efficiency. So McLaren, son.
Are we still in the do we care?
Don't be jealous. What was yours? What was yours again? Yeah. The Subaru Brat. Okay.
I'm not sure it's a McLaren, though. McLarens are super high end.
It's a McLaren.
I want to ask you, Liza, what about your Yamaha 750?
Oh.
My XS750 triple.
Uh-huh.
It's like those Dodge Bumblebees.
Yeah.
Or like a Dodge Dart or something.
Well, yeah, because that's a 1979, so I got to go back. It's a Chevy Nova.
Okay, good.
What about your...
I can see that.
What about your SM, your 990?
The 990 SMT. That's a nice car. The 990 SMT, KTM 990. It's grunty. It is sporty. I'm gonna go with a Shelby Cobra.
I was thinking more like a Spider.
Oh, what are you thinking, Doug?
I was thinking like a Chevy Tahoe limousine.
No, I don't go with that.
Well, what about Emma's Harley?
Well, you know, yeah, I mean, it's big.
That's an old Ford pickup.
Yeah, I mean, that's the F-150.
That's an F-150 all the way.
Or maybe the old lifted Broncos.
Yeah,
the old lifted kind of ones that the guy gets out and
more
punches
than like
you
a
in the face.
Yeah, well, more than like a Bel Air or a Malibu or something like that.
No. I know exactly what it is.
Hasn't got those airs and graces.
The Ford 150 Harley Edition.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go. That's a good one.
It hasn't got the airs and graces of a Bel Air. It's rough around the edges. It's an F-150.
Or like a Charger or Challenger.
Yeah. All right. Now, hold on. I want to switch this up as we get to Bagel. Bagel, first I want to know which one of your bikes are you choosing? Are you going to go with the obvious, the Vespa 300?
Well, I was going to say I've got a few.
Well, just pick one, and then we are going to try and guess what you think it is.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's go with the GTS 300.
Okay,
because that was my first one that I had thought of.
Vespa GTS 300.
What do you think? I think
what's its name?
Well, my original 300 is cream cheese.
Okay, the Vespa GTS.
So I'm thinking
300.
I'm thinking a Fiat 500.
All right, not bad.
Keep going.
That's not bad. Yeah.
What kind of 500 though?
Abarth.
The Abarth.
Thank you. Exactly.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking.
So you nailed it on the first one. We don't even have to try.
Yeah, not just any 500. That would be the Abarth.
Not the Fiat X19.
What do you see a Fiat X19? What do you see a Vespa as? What Jim, in your eyes?
A Fiat X19.
You think it's a Fiat? See, I was saying that it is Alfa Romeo.
Anything, yeah.
And you can make that argument.
Convertible.
For sure. Yeah. You can. There's definitely some DNA there. But I will say, I was going to also mention my vintage Vespa P200, which I don't know if you've ever seen. That one, in fact, a long time ago, I rode it to a Volkswagen car show, and there was a Volkswagen Carmen Ghia painted the same shade of blue as my bike. And ever since then, I've thought that's like my bike's automotive twin.
See, I do believe that every bike has a separated earth twin, right?
And also, can I mention my Heinkel?
Of course.
Do you want to take guesses what my Heinkel's twin would be?
A Studebaker.
No.
It's interesting. Interesting.
Studebaker Hawk.
Wouldn't it be like one of those?
No,
it's
not that sporty.
Its twin is a Bloemen Voss BV544 bomber.
No,
is that an airplane?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Any other car suggestions?
The Trey Bolt.
It's not a two-stroke though. That's the thing. It's a four-stroke. So
now, see,
it's got to have a four-stroke.
I'm thinking a small Mercedes.
No, I think
that's a good guess.
Yeah,
like the pontoon Mercedes.
Exactly.
Back in the day, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for an Opel Kadett.
That's also a really good guess.
No, it's not a Citroen.
Not quite, but the one that I was thinking actually was a vintage Volkswagen microbus because it accelerates with the exact same performance.
Okay.
So what would
it's fairly big too, so
what would like a Royal Enfield Meteor be?
What, one of the new ones?
Oh,
sure.
A Yugo.
I was going to say a Hyundai automatic 3-speed.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, I think that it's a better quality bike than that.
Like a Geo Metro.
quality
So
cars.
a Le Car.
Oh, the Le Car.
I remember that.
We're back to bagels now.
Yeah, I think
like a Geo Metro, maybe.
Yeah, just
they were Suzuki.
something entry level, but better than a friggin' Yugo.
I saw.
What about a CT70?
Oh,
a Gremlin.
Ooh,
a Suzuki Samurai.
Or that's
I think that's
a good
better.
one.
Yep.
That's a really good one.
Best out of the box 4-wheeler you can find.
A CT70 is one of those go-karts you buy at the automotive parts store.
God.
In a pinch, you can run your well with it.
I was thinking the smart car that somebody put a lift kit and big mutter tires on.
What about a Hayabusa?
Ooh,
Funny car.
Viron,
especially the extended swing arm.
Lifted Chevelle.
Yeah, it's a funny car.
I'm trying to think on that one. A Busa. Is it stretched?
No, just a stock Busa.
A stock
Would that
Busa? So a Corvette?
That's a fast bike. Yeah, that could be.
It's a big. It's a big
anything with a supercharger,
like a Mach 2
big
Mustang,
like an 80s Corvette.
Yeah, I can see that.
The ones
I
nobody
can see
wants.
that. Yeah.
Well, there you go. And this is a perfect opportunity for listeners to email us and let us know what their bikes twin separated at birth is. I want to hear more. Tell us what you have in your garage and what its twin is. And even more so, I wonder if anyone owns the car equivalent and bike equivalent as a match set. Wouldn't that be interesting?
I'm close with my Tacoma.
Yeah, I know. The Tacoma and the KLR.
Or the DRZ.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close. Well, we're about to get to emails, but first I have a big announcement to make about our 500th episode next weekend, y'all. It is next weekend.
That's crazy.
And it is sold out.
Oh, wow.
What?
It is sold out.
Well, given out. Not because we didn't sell tickets, really.
Oh, everyone's paying for it. It's just not cash.
Nothing's free.
Yeah, nothing's free. It's sold out. So we're going to have a full theater. It's going to be a great show. There's nothing more that I could have wished for than to have a full theater of people to celebrate with us.
Will there be a little standing room? Hopefully, maybe.
Not really. It's a movie theater. There really isn't standing room. No. But thank you to everyone who have bought free tickets, reserved tickets. We are going to have
You get what you pay for, so keep the bar low.
Sometimes not even that.
We got some folks coming from far away, though, that are spending some money to get here.
Like Capitola.
Yeah, hope you got tickets to the boardwalk.
2 from Atlanta.
San
Two from Atlanta.
And we're
One from
turning it
Seattle.
into a whole weekend
Bagel's
of
coming.
events.
Mm-hmm.
So Bagel, just so you know. Oh, and Bagel, we have issues with you.
Oh, well, what's new?
So, Bagel, we're doing the group ride on Saturday.
Yeah.
And Bagel, what were your 2 options for the group ride through the Santa Cruz Mountains, including Highway 1 up the coast?
Well, the bikes I could bring, you mean?
I think you said I can either bring the Heinkel or a CT70.
Right, if I could get the C70 going, yeah. I mean, those are the bikes that I could fit in. Those are the bikes I could fit in the van. But no, that's not going to work on Highway 1.
Right. Everyone's doing like 80 up Highway 1.
Yeah. So
I think I see a KLR in your future.
no, it's too tall. I can't ride a bike that
If
tall.
I can ride it, you can ride it.
It is not too tall. I have saved the KLR for you.
Why didn't you lend him the guinea pig?
What's the guinea pig?
The guinea pig shaped scooter, the Elite 250.
That also cannot keep up with it.
That thing does 80.
If it were properly maintained, it might be able to keep
Wait a
up.
minute.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
I checked the air pressure this year. I don't know
Like
what
I
you're
said.
talking about.
I doubt that, Liza.
Do you know why I call it the guinea pig?
Why is that?
It's shaped like one.
No, it's not.
Yes,
It's got a guinea pig nose.
No, it's
It
not.
looks just like a
it's
guinea
not.
pig.
No, it goes when you try and start it.
Well, let me see what I can do.
Real quick, we have a couple emails. This one is from our friend Alan Smith.
Hi, Alan.
Alan. No, it's Steve.
It's
And this is referring to last weekend when we were talking about streamliners. Remember, Alan has the record for the longest, best mileage on a streamliner, his Ninja 250. I think I keep changing the number, but I think it's around 186 miles per gallon. And he's gone cross country.
Hey, he was here, right? Did I meet him here?
Alan's been here a couple times, yeah. He says, hey, last week, another great episode. I have one comment regarding streamlined motorcycles blowing around in crosswinds. Some streamlined motorcycles handle crosswinds better than others. For some reason, Craig Vetter's streamlined Honda Helix did not handle crosswinds very well. More work is needed to fully understand the dynamics of motorcycles in crosswind. I have over 100,000 miles on streamlined motorcycles. I've ridden them coast to coast many times in all kinds of weather. There have been times while riding with other motorcyclists that the crosswinds got so bad that the other motorcycles pulled off the road before me. That's interesting. So for my streamlined Ninja 250, I could handle crosswinds as good as a stock motorcycle. I must agree that riding streamlined motorcycles isn't for everyone. They look strange. No one wants to stand out that much. Streamliners also have a different feel while riding them. Lately, I've been designing, building, and testing partially streamlined motorcycles that don't look so radically different from stock motorcycles. At this time, I don't see a substantial improvement in fuel economy with only aerodynamic windshields and luggage. At least the aerodynamic windshields and luggage offers better wind protection for the rider. And he says, hey, I'll see you at the 500th episode.
Very
So
cool.
I find that
Nice.
interesting that we just make that assumption that streamliners cannot handle windy situations get blown around.
There's a
And he's
lot
saying,
going on.
that's not true.
No, there is a lot going on there. And streamliners, I think by the nature of their cigar shape, they would tend to split the wind above and below if it's hitting it from the side. So it's kind of, whereas if you've got a slab-sided bike, the wind's going to hit it like a sail.
Like a fish shape.
Yes. Fishing.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, John.
Rather than a tube.
John, you have one there to read?
Yeah, I do. This is from Chris Comley.
Yeah, hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Chris Kringle?
Yeah, that's the leader's name.
Yeah, we've met Chris.
I just got done listening to episode 498 on the electric bikes. I want to throw my 2 cents in on what feature I'd want to see on an electric bike. As a long-distance rider, I'd want a 200-mile range at highway speeds with a recharge time of 10 to 15 minutes. But then I thought I should ask for something reasonable and achievable.
Hot dog warmer.
So I want... Never a bad idea, Jim. So I want phasers to blast the vehicles that like to camp in the left lane on the highway all the time. If phasers don't work, then I'd settle for lightning bolts coming out of the front for the same thing. Congrats on the upcoming 500th episode. Wish I could join you, but I got too much going on this time of year. Keep the dirtier side down, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Right on, Chris.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's, I think, a lot of people that want a 200-mile range and charge in 10 minutes. It's basically what our gas bikes do.
For inspiration,
That'd be awesome.
For inspiration, go to the Peterson Museum, which is the automotive museum down in L.A. Right now, they have the James Bond collection going on down there, and there's more shit getting shot out of the front of stuff. I tell you what, James Bond. Just see what you got. I like to find your motivation there.
I think we have time for one more. Emma, you have an email there to read?
Oh, I do, actually. I'm glad you asked me. This is from Peter Cox.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Hello, Misfits from Sydney, Australia.
Oh, they make good dirt bike tires there.
Right, they do. Short-time listener, first-time writer here. So I am wondering about the identity of the mysterious Rufus.
Aha.
Not wanting to go stalker on Miss Emma across the socials.
Oh, join the club.
It wouldn't be the first time, darling.
What is your fans only page?
Yes. I make a lot of money from that page.
Elderly anal mama.
My God!
Oh, I thought it was big shrimping.
Yeah, it was big shrimping. Not a foot action. Big shrimping.
Put another shrimp on the Barbie.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Appearing with Phil's Fish Market. I've tried to
It's
figure it
always
out
low
from
tide.
the references in the pod over the first few months. I've got the Suzuki RF 900s, the only sporty Suzuki
Yes.
I can think of that might lead to Rufus's name, other than an RF 600 as an outside option. You know, you're absolutely right out of the box, Peter. It is indeed an RF 900. And, you know, he goes on to say that we all know it was very, very unloved when it came out in the mid-90s because it was looking for a home. The mid-90s, it was all about super sport bikes. The Honda Fireblade, the CBR 900RR, won accolade over accolade because that's what people wanted back then. And a great bike, but it doesn't do what Rufus does. And, you know, we talk about bikes of jacks of all trades. I couldn't have made that trip with you down to LA on a Fireblade. I would have been dead
Yeah.
halfway. So it is what it is. So anyway, he goes on to say, we've had 2 years of La Nina rain events in Sydney, so I'm desperately hoping for a decent riding season this year. Didn't start well. He was skirting floods and got very wet, heading down to the MotoGP at Phillip Island.
Ooh.
And there's about 10 years of investment needed to get the roads back into the shape they were 3 years before the bushfires. It's all potholes and tar snakes out there. Go well, Misfits. I really want to ride the PCH from LA to the Canadian border one day, so maybe I'll get a chance to drop by one of these years. Cheers, Peter. Currently, he's riding Harley-Davidson Sport Glide, joint custody of a Piaggio Medley 150. What's that, Bagel?
I don't know that one.
Well, anyway, he's sharing it with his wife, so it's
Nice.
he recently sold his Triumph Street Twin, and he's thinking about getting a Moto Guzzi V7 850, which would be a nice choice.
Comfy bikes.
had six 500 and six 650 Euro Sports. Never sold those in America. Basically, it looked like a CX500 Turbo without a turbo.
Yeah.
Real nice bikes. And then a BMW R100R for about 25 years.
Wow.
So I'd like another bike that twitches sideways when I hit the throttle. Well, a Moto Guzzi will do that.
I know yours made an appearance today. Your old,
my old V11 Gran Turismo showed up, and I've forgotten you blip the throttle on that, and damn near tries to throw you off. No, it's a lovely sensation it is, and it was nice seeing the old girl again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is it. $499.
$499.
So $499. You got an announcement, Jim?
Just one last thing.
Yeah.
We talked about the ride, and you and I talked earlier, just if anyone's listening. So we're talking about get at the garage, I guess, anytime after 10, or meet at 10:30, kickstands up at 11.
Yeah.
And we bounced back and forth different places to go. We really want to go to, obviously, the Jameson Museum and Moto Talbot. But we're going to end up going up the coast and doing Alice's restaurant.
That's a great choice.
It's great riding.
Yeah, and we're going to take some back roads there. I think we'll break the group up about halfway to if a more spirited group wants to take the lead, and we'll rally at Alice's, and then we'll come back down through the Santa Cruz Mountains, make a food stop. But I think it takes a lot of intersections and red lights and turns, and if it ends up being a big group ride, it's an easy destination to find. So
and Alice's is great. It's so iconic.
Yeah, we're going to try to do food not at Alice's after that, but anyway, that's the plan. Just subject to change with no notice.
Liza, I know time is short. It's going to be very, very quick. Okay. I want to make sure that everybody knows that the Alpine training tour, Cat and Emma's Alpine Adventure, the dates have been announced, and it is July the 9th through the 16th. So sign up. I've got 7 spots left. If you have never been outside America on a bike before, this is the trip for you to go on.
Yeah, and when Kat was here, he threw out some different options, what kind of tour, and people voted. And so it is going to be the Castles and Curves training tour. So it'll be a little bit more of an adventure and different things to see than last time. Be picking places to eat, packing lighter, and how to plan for hotel sink laundry.
Right.
Things to learn. Also, there's only 7 spots left.
So
already
sign up
for next year's trip.
This is going to be the time of your life. There's nothing like it in the world. And it's very reasonable. Share a room, it's $2,500. What do you get for $2,500? You get all hotels. You get motorcycles. You get transfers. It's basically for $2,500. All you need to find is money for lunch and dinner, gasoline for the bikes, and booze on your flight.
An Italian Spider-Man, if you're interested.
I was going to say, and for the cost of a few drinks, you might also get to see Emma's boobs.
Yes, well...
That's amore.
Exactly. That is amore. I think if you're clever, you can do the whole trip for $4,000, which is nothing.
Yeah, airfare is not terrible. I was checking it out. It's not terrible right now.
I'm in the process of booking my flight, and I'm flying Lufthansa like last time, and it was, I think, $1,600, so not massive money.
Nice.
You gonna go, Jim?
I am going to Europe, but I'm not going to do that trip. I got another trip later in the year planned: Scotland and Italy.
Oh
wow!
You got to break out the kilt.
And this is the part of the show where I thank people. One of the people I want to thank is Law Tigers for...
Yeah, great!
They helped support our costs for the venue for the 500th, so I really appreciate that.
Nice, thank you.
And especially to our listeners, our Patreon subscribers, people who like Stan, who came by today and dropped off more gear, really nice gear for the garage.
Nice. The man.
Stan the man.
Just everybody who's made up this community, near and far, that has gotten us to this 500, which is crazy. I mean, we know that it's bigger than just us in this room or just us who have been behind these mics. People everywhere, but we're all connected in that, and this is what's kept us going. So big thanks to everyone who's been part of this community. So yeah. Next week. We're almost there.
It's a big party.
500.
Yep.
Okay. I think it's it's time to get out of here. Thanks, everyone. This is Liza.
Stumpy John.
Emma, darling.
Douglas.
Nigga Jim, son.
Bagel.
And we are out of here.
Cool.
Cool.